So not too long ago, a company called Penstar reached out to me to see if I wanted to do a video on their new e-ink tablet, the Penstar eNote. They call it an innovative paper tablet, and I'm super excited to dig into it because they have some features that I've been actually waiting for in other devices that haven't implemented it yet. So, and some things that I hadn't even thought about that this thing is talking about in the specs, which we're going to get into in a second here. But man, super exciting device if it delivers on half of the things that it says it does. But without further ado, let's get right to it. How's it going, everyone? Roger here, Rants About Tech. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, and to the crew, hit that like button for me so we can go ahead and get these numbers up. All right, let's do it. So like I said in the intro, I was initially reached out to by this company, and I thought, there's no way they're gonna reach out to me with something innovative and good. I'm thinking, I'm too lowly on the pole. But I'm thinking if they're gonna reach out to me to do a video, it's probably not gonna be very good. I read the specs and I'm just like, this is, like I said in the intro, if it delivers on half of those, I'm gonna be happy with this. I mean, for a device that I've never heard of, from a company I've never heard of, there's a floating something. Let me get it. I think I got it. Let's move on. But the pen sounds innovative. From what it can do, I mean, you guys know I don't like erasers on pens. If you don't know, check out my shorts. You'll learn all about it. I don't like erasers on pens. I like buttons on pens. I like nice looking pens. I don't know how this pen's gonna look. The silhouette on the box makes me think that it's something special. I don't know why, but I do. The screen is unlike anything that I've read about. We're gonna talk about that too. Man, I guess innovative paper tablet is an apt name for this thing. There's tons of innovation that I like about this thing. And what's weird about it, none of the innovation is AI based like everyone else is trying to do right now. So there is AI here. Don't get me wrong. They're on the AI train. I'm just saying it's not all about the AI. The innovation is in other places, hardware, the pen. You know how I like pens. So let's go ahead and open her up and see what we got. I'm super excited. So let's go ahead and get my handy dandy box cutter. I'm gonna go into some of the main features of this device once I get to those bits and pieces. So let's go ahead and open her up and see what we got here. Okay, we have a paper box here. I really do like it. They have that cushion that like Books has with their devices as well. It's a nice cushion. It doesn't cover the whole top like the Books boxes do, but very nice touch. I mean, I guess you wouldn't need it to cover the whole device, but the feel is really nice. They have this really nice quality business card type of feel to the box here. I don't know if you can see the texture on here or not, but it looks really cool. I really do like the way they did this here. All right, so it looks like we have a pull tab right here. And the device looks to already be inside the case. I already like that the documentation, let's put this aside for a second. I already like that the documentation kind of sits on top of here. It's not underneath all of this other stuff, kind of like how Books packs their boxes. I've mentioned that in other videos, how I don't like how they do that because it just gets all crumbled and crazy. But this was cool. They sat that on top of there and it was very nice. I don't like the plastic casing on here. I really don't. I wish that everyone would go with paper for these kind of sheaths for the devices, and you can't even just slide it out because of this handle here on the case. So the case has this handle that makes it difficult to slide out of this plastic sheath like you can do on the Books product, so at least you can keep it intact. But whatever, we'll take this apart. Maybe some ASMR unboxing. I'm liking this case. All right, let's toss this. You know what? Just put this to the side for a second so we can see what else we have in the box here. And then we'll get to this device. So it looks like we have a box here. We don't have anything on here. This is just a regular rest of the box. So we'll go ahead and put, well, do we have any? So the pen looks like it's how the SuperNote pen is with the clip on it and the button. That's has an eraser on the back. What? Come on, people. Oh, now this is nice. Okay. That's super nice. Okay. I'm liking their packaging, man. I didn't expect much, to be honest with you. Like I said, I've never heard of this company before. I didn't hear of the device before or anything. What are we doing here? If the device is, like I said, half as good. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so I don't like that they've used plastic to kind of put this in because, like, literally, you could have just done this, right? Maybe, and just kind of sat that in there. I would have been with the pen not having plastic on it too, honestly, just sitting in there. Because that just, you don't have to deal with the plastic. And this thing right here is so nice, you don't even need the plastic. This was a nice touch right here. I like this. It's not so custom that it, gives you that quality look and feel, but it's custom enough to where you're like, they could have just done this. This is nice. I like that. I like the box. I like how they packaged it. I like that their nibs came in its own little packaging here, so nothing happens to them. Because a lot of people just like stick stuff in there. I think the last books device I had where the nibs were in a box protected, so that's cool. But I like this. I do like this. Let's go ahead and take this out of here. Let's see what we got. All right, so this is what we have here for this. This is nice too. I don't mind this at all. So it feels like the Remarkable 2 card that their nibs came in, really high quality like that. And yeah, so they're like taped into place. I'm not sure if you can see the tape on them where they're taped into place there, so they don't pop out. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure what this little metal clip here is for. Let's see. Remove the used nib by sliding it towards the narrow end. Replace by bending the card to expose a new nib. That is ingenious. They thought of everything on this thing. Wow. Like, come on, man. Like, out of nowhere, this company comes with some of the most thoughtful stuff that I've seen on an eInk device to date. Super impressed. Super impressed. So let's just set this thing aside for a second, man. Whoa. Yeah, whoa. So let's go ahead and look at this device. So let's go ahead and get our focus together. And the case, all right, let's take the focus off again. So the case is very cool. Can we see this? It has this nice leathery, or not leathery, this nice clothy type of thing right here. And then it transitions into a leathery material right here. It's a really classy notebook-centric look. I really do like it. And it's a half folio. What? They beat SuperNote to the punch. How'd they beat them to the punch with the half folio? And it's magnetic half folio. Come on, let's go. What? Okay. All right. Like I said, I think now I know why they went with the material on the corner here, because it's a half folio and it probably folds a lot better than the faux leather would in that case. So having a more flexible material right there was advantageous. That's supreme, man. Let's just go ahead and see if we can take this off. Can we take this case off? Oh, so it's not magnetic, does it? Oh, it is magnetic. Okay. Yes. All right. So these little nibs here go into the back of the device and they kind of hold it there together. I really do like that. And you can see those slots where they go in at right here and right over here. That's nice. Okay, so they kind of just go in like this here. Where we got? So they kind of just go in like this here. Okay. We got. Okay. It's not bad. This thing will stay there. I like that. That thing will stay. Very nice half folio cover. I'll give it that. All right, so let's look at the device here. And what do we think? So we got some buttons here. We got some buttons on the side here. We got, it's a shape that's thinner at the edge than it is in the back here. Kind of just like I said, how I thought the new SuperNote A5X2 is gonna be. I did a video about that. I'll link it in the description. I made a comment about how I thought that would be tapered like that to a degree. And it does seem like that's the case with this device, but it's got an odd shape to it. It's like tapered on every edge except for this edge right here. This edge isn't tapered at all. So it's thin right here, thin right here, thin right here, but thicker right here. That's an interesting kind of dynamic there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's super interesting to me, for sure. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and look at the pen here before we do that. All right, so, yeah, these nibs don't look special at all to me. Let's take one out, shall we? Okay, so these nibs look like the Lamy Palm nibs, only a bit narrower at the tip, which I absolutely like because I like the palm nibs for the Lamys. Only I don't like how broad the tip is. This is a lot narrower of a tip, but it's plastic, so this could be really good. This could be really good. I like a finer tip for more precision, but depending on how they're talking, well, they're talking about some of the technology in this pen as being unique to this pen right here, which, like I said before, may indicate why it has a lower pressure sensitivity level than most other pens in the eInk space at over 9,000 levels. This has just over 8,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, but that chip that they have in here, I'm not sure if it's unique to this pen or not, but they feature it and they talk about it a lot. So maybe that helps with precision. I don't know, but these look like I said, plastic palm nibs. They definitely are plastic. And like I said, they're reminiscent of the Lamy Palm, but a lot narrower at the tip. So what do I think about this pen here? It's a plastic pen, but it has the clip, which I absolutely love. That's plastic as well. I'll break it, I'm sure. Okay, so this isn't a click back like the SuperNote pen is. It's just an eraser. I won't go in. I won't go in. You know I want to. There's a button, but I think it has two buttons. It looks like it feels like it's actuating at two different points. So it may be two buttons in one. We'll see. This nib that they have in here, though, is not the nibs that it comes with. It comes with these slick plastic palm type nibs, but the nib that's on here is not slick at all. It's rough. Oh, wow. Oh. It comes with a different nib. So the nib that's actually in here is a felt nib, a hard felt nib, but felt nonetheless. And it's actually rounded. And I could be wrong about it being felt, but it's definitely not plastic. And I definitely think it's felt. I'm going to just open this up and see if no, they're all plastic. So these are all plastic palm nibs here in the case that comes with the device. But the nib that comes in here, like I said, is not a plastic palm nib. It's like a rounded felt. The pen itself, like I said, is a plastic with the button. I don't mind it being plastic. And it's not just a simple cylindrical tube like I complain about all the time. It comes with a button. It's the only device that I know of that actually comes with a button. We're going to turn it on and we'll go over some more of the specs here about the pen and the device itself. But all right, so those are the specifications on the dimensions and weight of it there. But so let's go ahead and look at what we have here for I/O, and we look like we have a USB-C charging port at the bottom, and a power button at the top. I like the symmetry there, very reminiscent of the Remarkable 2. On that aspect, it feels good in the hand. It's definitely a plastic device. I'm digging that though. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. It's definitely a plastic device. The frame is plastic. The back is plastic. The bar right here where the buttons are is plastic here. This frame around this portion right here that you can see here, this is actually plastic. The buttons feel metal though. So the buttons could be metal. Although everything else seems to be plastic. And the screen feels glassy. I think there's a glass cover here with a film over it. It feels super glassy, even though there could be a slight film over it. It feels super glassy, and it's definitely glossy. I'm not sure if you can see that here, but it's definitely super glossy. So it feels like it might be glass to me on overlay. But the screen right here is called a pure view screen, and it is supposed to not have a capacitive touch layer. So there's no touch here. You can't touch and do anything. Everything is controlled by the pen, which I'm super excited about that too. There are a lot of times where I have to turn off the capacitive touch on the devices because I like to just handle them without turning them off. And this is going to be awesome for that. I don't have to turn that thing off. This device is like, we're a note-taking device. That's what you're buying this for. I love the focus on that. Yeah, that tells you how focused they are on note-taking when they're like, no, you can't even use your fingers to interact with this thing. It's all pen. I mean, some people are not going to like that, right? But I personally love that because I have ink devices that I can treat like a tablet if I want to. Finding something that's purely for note-taking and does that the best, that would be a huge advantage for me to add to my collection. So, yeah, we're about to find out because I'm about to power it on. Where's the power button? All right, let's do it. All right, so we got the setup here. We're going to go through the setup and then we'll get into some more of the stats before we dive into the menus. We got English, simplified English. Let's go with English. Terms and conditions. Let's look at the way that. So they say that the eInk display is super close to this pure view display because it doesn't have a capacitive layer that would add to the thickness of it. And I'm just trying to discern, like, does it look close? Does it look bright? All right, we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and finish this setup. I'm getting ahead of myself. I read, yep, I agree. All right, so something I just thought about that I didn't think about before, and that I want to look at, and that's like how the device sounds. I don't hear any buttons rattling. Good. No creaking. I mean, it's plastic, so I'm about to say it's plastic, so why would it creak? But my Super Note creaks. Yeah, no creaking. I think the way that eInk looks on screen, matter of fact, I will say that the felt pen does not feel good on this particular screen. Whatever material this is, doesn't feel especially good. But I guarantee that palm nib would feel pretty right on this. So let me go ahead and swap these out because I would hate to give it a bad judgment if there's something that can be done about it with what they sent me. Okay, that's a lot better. It's slipperier, right? And maybe this felt would get better over time because it is super brand new. But for right now, I'm gonna work with this palm nib. I don't mind it being a little bit more slipperier than normal. What I wanted to talk about was my idea and take on the build quality here and just look at some of the finer details of the build. Like I said, it's all plastic. It looks like there's a microphone right here in the corner. Can we see this? There's a hole there. I think it might be for a microphone. Speakers though, maybe the speakers are in the frame here. Maybe the speakers are in the frame here. I don't know. Could be. Actually, there's a bit of a cutout there that you may be able to see in that grill, because I think that's what these are, grills that maybe have speakers under them. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's where the speakers are. Maybe that's where the microphones are too. But there is definitely something right there. It looks intentional, but just don't know. It could be a microphone, could be a speaker, could be a sound canceling microphone as well. Devices have those poked around in different spots these days too. So, but yeah, the build seems good. Even though it's plastic, the build quality seems good. There's no rattling when you, like, yeah, I wouldn't feel any kind of way just kind of like tossing this on the desk because of the plastic back and the feel. Now, like I said, this screen right here, I mean, for all I know, it could be plastic too. I don't know. I definitely want to find out. So that's one of the questions I'm going to ask. It looks like the device is charged up to 100%. It's showing the correct time. It's showing the correct day. Yeah, so it looks like they've updated it at least. So we're just going to dive in. The first thing I notice is the home and the notes. It looks like it's got there. And let's go back to the home. Because you have widgets here, and if you've been watching my channel, you know I love widgets. I love that they have email widget here. I love that they have a notes widget there, bookshelf widget, a calendar widget of some type there. We're going to look and see what that's all about. I'm going to do a few videos over the week that I have this and update you guys on all of these little bitty features here and there. I think, like I said, all these buttons are programmable. And this is the button that you set. Oh, so they're already programmed, and this kind of tells you what they do. The UI looks pretty decent. It's like the Note OS on the books products to me, whereas you have this left side row of icons here, but it has the added bonus of having widgets. So it's like the simplicity of that, but I don't know. I like it. I'm digging it for sure. No color, obviously, on this particular device, just black and white. I don't know the PPI on here just yet either, but if I were to guess, I'd say this is 300 PPI. Just from the thinness of the lines that they have on here and the clarity. I'm not sure exactly what panel they're using on this either, but I'm going to find that information out. So those are things I'm going to be writing down. We also know they have some kind of library natively, but let's see what other apps we have in here. Wi-Fi transfer, a browser, a My Account app, a calculator app, cloud drives, which maybe you can set this up with other cloud services, Google Drive integration, clutch, super clutch. Let's go, man. Come on. A manual for the device. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see what the PDF reader looks like real quick. Okay. Let's go into it here. Wow, okay. So they have a fleshed out manual here. And this definitely is running on some kind of Android because I recognize the shortcut menu here. But let's see what kind of options we have. Well, we can't tap on the screen. Let's see what kind of options we have with, man, zoom in, zoom out, previous page, next page, home. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what kind of options we have as far as orientation options and see if we can customize the look of this in any kind of way. But yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to look at. Man, I'm super geeked about this device. I mean, for it to be a device that's super brand new and wow, what can we jump into a note to see what the handwriting will be like? Let's create a quick note real quick just so I can give so we can name the note. Cover, template. This gives you some options here, okay. And, okay, so I hit the button there accidentally. Okay, cool. It didn't go until it recognized I had something because I wrote something. but it didn't like convert it until I had a full word. That's kind of cool. So I'm gonna leave that at hello. How do I get out of this now? Okay, cool. We'll just leave it at note. We'll do a simple line template real quick. All right. And okay. They got anti-aliasing going on here. Latency could be better. Not bad. It doesn't detract from the writing experience, but it definitely could be better. It's not the fastest I've seen. Lasso erase or lasso select. Okay, so they don't give you options at the site of selection like I would definitely like to have, but that's something that can be fixed in firmware or software. Erase. Huh. So when you do that, can I cut it? I just selected it, but I don't get any cut options. Oh, wow! You select it, and then you tap it to get options. That's kind of cool. I mean, at least you get some options there. I can dig that. Yeah, the writing feel. It feels about how you would it feels writing on one of the tab devices from books, with the plastic nib. With the felt nib, it feels a little bit better. I'm going to take this out real quick. Maybe I should do it how they said do it. Perfect. All right, so with the felt, that's an ingenious little tool there. With the felt nib, a lot more scratchy, and I would think the feel would get better over time. I'm going to test the button out too. I'm going to make tons of videos. I'm going to make some more updates to this. I'm going to test the button out to see how that works. But for right now, the screen is a slick screen, but with the felt tip, I mean, you get some friction there. You get some drag. It's not the best writing feel I felt, to be honest. But it's something you can work with. It's something you can work with, especially with a good felt tip. I don't like felt, so I'll be using a plastic, one of these things over here. I may even try my ceramic on this. See what that feels like. But yeah, so it's not bad. The writing feel is definitely workable. It's definitely workable, especially when you talk about the options you get, especially if it's programmable as much as I think it is. We're going to get into all of that. But right now, the device, I mean, it's a plastic device. It's not the thinnest device in the world. The tapered edges leave it to be thin at the edges, but it kind of bowls out towards the back there. I'm going to get into the screensavers too and see how functional they are. Let's see if I can program some of these buttons to see what they do. But man, okay, will it wake it? Okay, none of these buttons wake it. Cool. Even though you don't have a capacitive screen for your fingers to touch and mistakenly hit things on, you do have buttons to mistakenly hit, so that's a thing. And we see what kind of tools we have in place to mitigate those mistouches for your fingers. So yeah, but final thoughts here. Hardware wise, I like it. It's because it's plastic, it's not very heavy, but it feels light in the hand. The buttons feel good. They're not rattly. You don't hear them at all. I like the fact that they got the symmetry going with the power, power input and the power button, just like the Remarkable does. I praise the Remarkable for having that going. This is in the same boat with me. It doesn't have the build quality of a Remarkable. It doesn't have a build quality of maybe even a Go 10.3 because of the plastic choice. But that to me is a non-issue. It feels good in the hand. Just like the Super Note. It doesn't have the most premium feel either, but for what they're doing, it's a very well-built system that just happens to be plastic. So this is in the same boat. Looks like it to be very well built. Just happens to be plastic that they're going for, which makes it lightweight, super lightweight. and makes it durable in my opinion too. I won't mind just kind of slapping this down on the table. I won't do that with a Remarkable or the Go 10.3. That just wouldn't happen with those kind of devices. But this device is even feels a bit more durable. Yeah, and when you add into there the 6,000 milliamp hour battery, it's looking like it's going to have a long battery life, especially without that capacitive layer. Man, the battery life could be really impressive on here. It really could. The software could be really impressive on here. It really could, but I just wanted to see what the hardware was going to be like. Was it going to be functional? Did it work? Did it have software that I was going to be able to work with? Stay tuned to see the software in action. That's the next video I'm going to do. I'm going to put that up probably tomorrow or the next day after that. But I'm going to try to get up a few good videos of this device for you guys, showing you every aspect that I can dig into. But for right now, it's looking super promising. They've impressed me with the pen. They've impressed me with the design choices on this particular device. Yeah, there's nothing to complain about right now, to be honest. I'm liking everything to this point. So stay tuned for what I got coming up next on this Penstar eNote N10. And go ahead and get subscribed. You won't want to miss that. And go ahead and like this video. I mean, your boy worked hard to get this, so let's do it. All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.